Flipper Zero Momentum firmware with Evil Portal and Marauder examples. For starters, you will need your Flipper Zero hacking device. Next, you will need a Wi-Fi development board, also known as a dev board for short. Next, go to flipperzero.com and download QFlipper for your Flipper Zero hacking device. Choose which operating system you have on your PC. Next, install QFlipper on your PC, which allows you to view and operate your Flipper Zero hacking device on your computer's desktop window, as well as being able to drag and drop Flipper Zero apps directly onto your Flipper Zero hacking device. And lastly, go to Flipper Zero Momentum to download Flipper Zero Momentum firmware for your Flipper Zero hacking device. Please note, this video is for educational purposes only. Let's now have some fun with Flipper Zero and Momentum firmware with Evil Portal and Marauder examples.
This is my desktop, and this here, assume that you've already downloaded and you installed your QFlipper Zero. You need your QFlipper Zero to be able to do anything. Now you're going to open this up, and I'm going to show you on the webcam that we're going to plug this in. I already got my Flipper Zero on, but you can leave it off and it'll automatically come back on. We'll plug it in, and as you can see, we can now get our a window like this, and now we're going to expand the window. Now we go like this, and you use this button for your apps. This button is for going back, and this, so you can see your little dolphin, whatever. And then when you click your center button, you get to immediate here. This is the beauty about Momentum firmware. It's really, really strong too. There's not really that much bugs in it, I find. Now, if you want to go to Evil Portal, you can go two ways. You can either go this way. Oops, help I go like that. You can go down here to GPIO, and then you got to go to here for any of them, Marauder or Evil Portal. You got to go to ESP. So you go into here, and you might sometimes have to activate Evil Portal. If you want to use it by itself, you still got to activate it. So right now we're just going to clear its memory. We're going to go up here, and then we're going to back here. Then we're going to go start Evil Portal. Now, see how it says it's up and running? Now what we got to do is we go down here. Once it's up and running, we got to go down here. We go to Wi-Fi, and then see how it says Evil Portal? Then you connect. You can connect to Evil Portal going like this, and right away it shows you the beautiful web page, which is for educational purposes only. But here it says username, and here's the fascinating thing about it. You type in your username, okay, and then here you type in your password. Yeah, hold on, I hit the wrong key. You gotta type in password, and when you go like this, and then you look at Flipper Zero, see how it says username and password? Well, if you were to be bad with it, you could actually set things up, but you gotta plug it into a computer, which is hard to do. So you really can't hack anybody with this, since you gotta plug it into the computer. As you can see, you gotta plug it into the computer, because it's always gotta be plugged in to be able to do this or get a direct access at a computer. So this is just for educational purposes of what this can do, but it's more of a benchmarking device than anything. I'd call it more of a benchmarking device than a hacker. It's a good tool for battery or anything, but that's how that works. And now that's Evil Portal here. And now here's another way you can get into it. We'll close out of this. We'll go back to here. We'll get out of this. We'll restop Evil Portal, and you'll see what I mean in case we don't get a good message. But we're going to go back now. We're going to go all the way back to here to Marauder now. We're still in the ESP. Now we're going to go down to Marauder. Marauder, you can go down to here and go to Evil Portal. And if you haven't started it, sometimes it doesn't start. Sometimes you got to start it. But of course this says server up and running. Now let's see if it's actually got the bug taken out of this new version. Hopefully maybe it does. Now we're going to go like this, recall up Evil Portal. And there, now I can go into the other web pages, into this thing here. I can load a file. So we're going to go loading a file. And now what we do is we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go load HTML file. We're just going to pick anything. We're going to pick an AT&T. We'll pick that. That's all set. Now we go back. And now we can go like this, back again. Or back up to Evil Portal, I mean. And now I can go here. I can go here. I can go here. Now we got AT&T. You can actually do AT&T and do your same thing with your username. You know, you type in your username, and then you type in your password, and you go like this. And now people don't know that you got their email address or anything like that. And then you go like this, and you can see what they got. You can see what they got. That's the username, which I showed you. This is the password that goes after the semicolon here. And you can see whatever someone types on their computer, thinking that's a real web page. But like I said, having to plug it in and be at a Wi-Fi to be near a computer to be able to do this, to connect to the computer even cordlessly, you have to be at the main computer. So chances are this is really for anybody to use as a bench working tool. Now we're going to show you Marauder. Now before I get going, this Evil Portal going either this way or the other way, it wouldn't always work if you went through Marauder first. You sometimes had to activate the other Evil Portal. But this is the way you can get in there. And this here, back here, we'll go back to the HTML file. And you can pick any one of these ones that you want, and you can drag and drop them in. I'll show you where to do that. This is on Marauder's side of Evil Portal. And now, before we do go, I'll show you something else that this little guy does. We'll go back to here again, back to here. And that takes me all the way back to there. So we're going to go back to ESPN. And yeah, I got to go to Marauder. That's where it is. Now you can go to here, and you can go to scan all. But of course, I'm going to have some of this covered up because I don't want people seeing other people's information. I have to go through my Wi-Fi tower, and I don't know what all the numbers mean anyway. But this is what you can also do. You can get all these. You can sit here and get all these beacon numbers and everything. Whatever this all means, I don't know, but I want to show you a little bit of it. But the most of it I got covered up just for privacy reasons, but just to give you an idea of what Marauder can do. You can go to scan all like this, and then you go down here if you want. And if you want, you can even list your app too. You can list what you got, but it only holds so much in a list. And if you let it go and go and go, it won't hold anything. So you can only hold a little bit at a time to actually make the list. And then if you want, you can clear the list. Once I clear it, and I go like this, and if I go back here, app info, oops, sorry, went the wrong way. List app. See how I got 0 selected? Because I cleared it all. So you can actually clear it all, but if you let that all fill up, this scan all, it won't show anything. And then you also get this down here too. You get this one down here, like there's beacon spam. I think that's what that is. Okay, I don't have that. I thought that was it. We'll go to sniff. See that? I got some of this covered up too. But you can actually sniff beacon and stuff with Marauder. And it seems like Momentum firmware for the flipper works effortlessly. I so far have had good experiences with it. I redid the whole entire little thumb drive in it and everything. But this is an introductory to this. Like I said, you're gonna need a Wi-Fi dev board, and you gotta push reset, which is the right button on the thing, and then you gotta hold it in while you're plugging it into your laptop, and you gotta plug the little cord into the actual Wi-Fi dev board itself. You do that first, then you plug it into your flipper after you got it all configured. It takes its own little firmware. You got to tell the board to do what it has to do. So you got to hold your little boot button down, which I'll quickly turn on to show you. You got to hold this boot button down right here, the one on the right. Okay, I got the flipper facing upward. You get the boot button on the right. You got to hold it down, but this cord here has to be into here. Okay, and then you plug it into the laptop only without this. You just have this by itself, and then you let it do its firmware, and then it'll do its firmware, and then you're all ready to go. But everything's already been installed. If you want any further information for that subject, just look around on videos. You'll find a lot of helpful information on it. And what I don't cover here is just something that I'm just trying to show you guys how to get around this Evo portal and stuff. And the beauty thing about this software, the new Momentum, I guess all of them, because it took me time to get used to Evo portal or anything like that to do with the flipper, is everything's all set. You don't have to type in test or nothing like that. Everything is all ready to go once you install Momentum firmware. But first you must install QFlipper. What I showed you here, this is my desktop. This here is like when anything I push, you know, it goes back like this, it goes like that, whatever. And I just want to go like this and get out of this. And this here, if I keep going back, and I keep going back, you're back at apps again. And then you can go to any one of these little icons over here just to see what's in there, to see what they do. Just experiment and see what they do, see what things do. Just experiment and see what things do with this Marauder stuff. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of a breakdown of this, what Evo Portal can do. And all it does really is make it like a fake web page that people log in, but you have to have a cord or be right close to a computer, which is pretty much impossible to do. I'd say it's more of a gimmick, but it's fun to do anyway, though. But do it on your own equipment. Don't be malicious to hurt anybody. If you're going to be a hacker, be a white hacker. Catch bad guys if you're going to do anything like that. Go after bad guys. Don't go after good guys. We've got too many bad guys out there wrecking the world. So be good to each other. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video here. So we're gonna close this, and then I'm gonna close out of this. And I think that's pretty much that, what I could show you. But everything, after you install your Marauder, I mean your Momentum firmware, you don't gotta do nothing but just play with the Evo portal, how to activate the Evo portal and everything, things like that. And then if one way doesn't work, always activate the Evo portal first. But it's so far, even though I closed it completely, it's still open with this Marauder, which the other firmware Unleashed, I had trouble doing that. Sometimes it show the code inside the web page as for the web pages, HTML markings and stuff, and then that don't look pretty. So I was facing that. But anyway, this Momentum firmware for Flipper Zero, I think it's great. I only got it about a month ago. I didn't know it existed. I didn't look for any updates since I had the Unleashed, and I had it for a while. And I was playing around with some settings to clear settings. I ended up clearing some of the hard drive. So that's why I ended up finding Momentum. I couldn't find the pieces I actually had before because I forget where I went to go get the other pieces for it, for like Marauder and stuff. I went everywhere for that. Now with Momentum, I only had to go to one place, and that was it. Just go to where I showed you in the intro, and that's all you need to do. Now if you've watched this whole video, I didn't use a robot voice. It's my own voice here. Just at the beginning I use a robot voice. Sometimes I just use it because I just have to. But other than that though, I couldn't use it in this situation. But I hope that you'll enjoy your Evo Portal and Momentum software for your Flipper Zero. And good luck. Now before I go, I did forget one thing to show you guys. Sorry, but I forgot. I'm not perfect. After you've connected your flipper, you see these little icons right here, okay? Well, you can push that. That's for your desktop, and this here is your SD card. So you just push this is your SD card right here. It shows all your files. Now, if you go to Apps Data, that's where you can find your stuff that you need for like putting in HTML files for Evo Portal or Marauder. So we go to Evo Portal here, you'll see the HTML, index HTML, and then what this is here, this is that Evil Portal webpage. You can actually, if you have them in your, if you have any HTML files, you can actually drag and drop them into here. I have none right now to really show you, but you can actually download Evil Portal HTML files, and you can just directly drag them and drop them into your desktop, and they'll automatically go to your Flipper. Alright, but your Flipper must be connected to your computer in order for to take that stuff off your hard drive directly to your Flipper, or put the whole card in your Flipper and get the stuff out that way, which you don't want to do. But you plug the Flipper into your laptop and use this part here, and it's totally window oriented to your desktop, to your computer, and you can drag and drop files. And now Marauder, it's in the same place, it's in the same data apps folder. So we'll go down to Marauder, and I'll show you all its web pages. Boy, as soon as I can get a good grip on this and find it. Where are you, Marauder? There we are. Now Marauder 2 also has his HTML files. See how many I got? Amazon and TNT, AT&T, that's in there, remember? Everything that your Flipper Zero can do, allows you to do, will be in your apps data. Okay? And once you get out of here, this is your SD card. This here is your internal flash. You need that. That's always there. That's for running your device, your Flipper Zero and stuff. And your SD card is where you want to do what you want. And but your apps data is where you want to go if you want to put any HTML files inside Evil Portal, which I could put more in if I wanted to, but I only kept one in there. But the Evil Portal for Marauder is where I kept all the HTMLs in here. Okay, these are all HTML files, all of them. Just like as you saw as I was scrolling down Amazon, Apple, and things like that, and you saw what you saw on the screen. That's where that all is. So yeah, you can go to anywhere you want and virtually just drag and drop your files into the appropriate folders that you need. Even if you take Flipper Zero apps off anything that has apps for like playing dice or playing games, you can download, and sometimes you can put the icon directly right into this part here. And then when you want to go back to normal Flipper, you go back to here. And then you can go back to the normal Flipper and start using it, just like you normally would. But that's how it basically goes. This is your desktop, your Flipper. It's great to have. And that way you don't gotta look at a tiny screen all the time. So I hope you like this video, and I hope it helped. But you must research to see how you set it up, because I don't really cover that here. I just talk about that you don't have to really touch anything once you put momentum in. You don't have to configure Evil Portal either. It's already set. You can just leave it the way it is. And you leave everything the way it is. Just all you gotta do is play with it. And that's it. Bye for now.